Good morning, it's George with Watchman German Shepherds. Putting together a little video right now this morning. Is dog breeding responsible? And the answer is yes, as long as it's done ethically and responsibly. Good morning, it's George with Watchman German Shepherds. I'm making a video titled, Are Dog Breeders Responsible? And my answer is yes, most of them are responsible. And I think that the key to understand in dog breeding, for people that don't understand it and they think it's unethical, and I'll touch on that in the later portion of the video, but the thing is that breeders usually breed and they get into it for the love of a particular breed, which in my case is the German Shepherd, but of course there's many other breeds, many other breeds, and there are groups of dogs that were purpose bred over time. And so I don't know if people realize that, but some dogs were bred to protect in the home from different varmints that could get in and cause problem, pass along disease and whatever. And so those particular breeds, the smaller dogs in the terrier group, they'd get behind your cabinets and down in your basement and up in your attic, and they would kill these varmints and protect the home in that way. And so they were purpose-bred dogs. And then you have other dogs, of course, shepherding group, and then you have the working group, and you have the sporting group, which guys use when they go out hunting, and you have dogs that were bred for a lot of different things. And so to just say, breeders are irresponsible, there's too many dogs and all that. Well, there is a lot of irresponsible dog owners who their dogs end up getting pregnant and they have puppies and they can't give them away, and then those puppies a lot of times end up in a shelter. Excuse me. They'll end up in a shelter, unwanted, and so that is not responsible. But that's not what most dog breeders are doing. As a matter of fact, it's what very few dog breeders, people that get into breeding, again, for a specific breed that they like, for whatever reason they like, it's their business, and they want to make the best that they can. And most breeding groups, like the German Shepherd Dog Club of America, their standard, anybody that belongs to that club, as I do, they agree first and foremost to improve the breed, to do all the physical testing and the mental testing, temperament testing with the parent dogs, to make sure you're passing on and improving upon the breed. And so that's pretty simple. And some people just want a dog that is a particular breed. Take, for example, the shepherd again. Some people would love to have a shepherd, but they won't get one because of the shedding. That's up to them. Then they may go for a hypoallergenic dog and something like that, where a dog that doesn't shed or doesn't shed as much as the German Shepherd. Some people may love the German Shepherd, and so they get a German Shepherd, and that's what they want to do, and it's totally up to them. Some people don't want a mixed shepherd. Some people do want a mixed shepherd, and that's up to them. And so there's really a lot of conversation around something that's kind of simple. I understand it very well now that I'm breeding for some years, the different things. And I used to think, and my wife said to me when I decided to get into breeding, I kind of felt the same way before I decided to get into it. My wife said, well, there's dogs in shelters. Why are we going to buy a dog when the shelters are full of dogs? And we only had dogs at that point that we had gotten from shelters and rescues. And so I understand that. But again, I didn't understand this end of it. And it's not about the money. People talk about that, which is, just really, I don't want to be bothered. Leave me alone with that. Any money I make is well earned, and I have a big investment in the dogs. But I won't say any more about that. So the thing is that I understand that thinking to a point, and I hope that this video kind of clarifies some of that, in that there are dogs that are bred for a purpose. Some of my dogs, they go to provide for customers as a service animal, for instance, right? And you need a dog that has a good temperament. You need a dog that's not going to snap, and it's going to be calm and clear-headed and all that stuff. And so you may get that in a shelter dog, but you may not. And also another thing with training for a service dog and a lot of other types of training that people get into, you want to have that dog from the earliest age. And the sheltered dogs, a lot of times they're older dogs. People had them. They often neglected to take care of them responsibly. Not always, but it's not unusual that that is the case. People bought a dog for ultimately an emotional reason, and they realize the reality is a little different than the good feeling alone. It doesn't carry you through. You have to do it when you don't want to do it, and take care of the dog when you don't want to. You're busy, you're sick, you're this, you're that. You're going away, you want to have some things there where the dog may be a problem for you. Well, people have to commit to that, right? To deal with all that and stuff. So there's a lot of different reasons. That's the thing. And the thing with breeders and breeding in general, as long as it's done responsibly, which most of the breeders all the breeders I know personally, but even people that I see on Facebook and different sites, and I know quite a few people, right? I have a lot of breeder friends or whatever. Their intent is to improve upon the breed and to provide customers with dogs that are going to be lifelong pets, first and foremost. And then again, if they're going to provide some type of service beyond, then that's that. So and that's my thumb, by the way. Hey, thumbs up. Don't forget, like and question. Yeah. So anyway, I hope that explains a few things. And I do mention a particular thing that I heard in the second part of the video where someone said don't even talk to them if you buy a dog from a breeder. They don't even want to talk to you. And so a lot of times breeders are looked down upon. People that buy dogs from a breeder are looked down upon because I have to think that it's just not thought through. People don't really think through it. So that's my little part one of this two-part video, and we'll get you right to part two. Have a great day. Bye. Good morning, it's George with Watchman German Shepherds. Putting together a little video right now this morning. Is dog breeding responsible? And the answer is yes, as long as it's done ethically and responsibly. Good morning, it's George with Watchman German Shepherds. Putting together a little video right now this morning. Is dog breeding responsible? And the answer is yes, as long as it's done ethically and responsibly.